You know it's mine if it's got lipstick. It's mine. It's on mine. It's got lipstick all on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't she look cute, y'all? Let's just get it on out the way, though. You know what I mean?
Y'all, I ask Kendall every...
15 minutes.
Is it 15 or like 5 minutes?
I give you 8.
I be like, babe, I look okay? Do I look bad?
She's like,
You
babe,
still
do I
think I'm
look
cute?
fat? I'm like, nah, you look extra pregnant.
I mean, extra pregnant.
Yeah, that's me in there. Extra.
The extra just feels weird.
But you put it together, though. You see, yeah, I mean, you snapped out now.
Yeah, I have to fight to get to this. I have to, don't pick up the mic. Don't pick up the mic. Yeah, he ready to pick up the
I
mic.
think Dorica's got something to say.
Yeah, I got a question. Is anybody, I told the Ricans to look down in the cabinet and to pass me the Vaseline. It was sitting right there in his face. So I'm like, Dorikas, the Vaseline, you are black. You know what Vaseline, oh, you could have put it in another bottle. I said, black people do not take Vaseline out of the regular, right?
Nah, that robbed you of the experience.
She said, hand me the Vaseline in that bottle. Now, let me tell you, she's known for switching bottles. Kendall, you remember y'all used to make some little stuff and just y'all used to make
And I used to, too. When I first met my wife, I used to have a little concoction.
It was still in the Vaseline jar.
That's true. But that's true.
Black people.
And that's true.
Listen, a lot of black people I know take their containers and they use other stuff. She's good for doing that. Like hand me, because there's another little container, it got oil in it. And so that's...
You know what I think the problem is? It's time for some glasses. It was right there. It said coconut Vaseline. You couldn't miss it.
Oh, that's
First
fancy.
of all, she been on one since I got here. I went to pick up my phone all wet. Don't lay your phone down in this house, y'all. Because it's going to be Lysol.
Because I know you don't Lysol your phone. And guess what? You can get sick. Like, do you Lysol your phone? No.
Like wet.
If you're if you go into the store, you put your phone down. You know, like we pick up our phones, we put our phone on tables, and then you go wash your hand, but then the first thing you do is get back to your phone and you pick it up and you put it right here. That's germs.
I only been in the house. Have she ever sprayed your phone down?
Facts.
Like
I wasn't going to say no, but like now I'm at the point, especially with my wife being pregnant, when I leave the gym, you know all the stuff you spray down the machines with, I spray down my phone, my keys, and my pocket.
See?
I wash my hands before I leave out the gym. I put sanitizer once I get in. And as soon as I walk in the house, she said, you don't wash your hands? So I got to wash them again. I'm already light-skinned. I'm going to be real white in a minute. But you heard him
come in the room and thank me. Thank you for spraying my phone.
I was being sarcastic because it's like it was so wet. I'm like, I ain't gonna be able to hear in the morning because if you spray.
Hey, but don't no phone calls smell fresh though.
I mean, it smells fresh, but my phone is already on its last leg. So I mean, and now watch when I get on the phone, I'm like, we can't hear you, yeah, because Fantasia don't spray Lysol in my phone. And before I even picked up the phone, I knew that's what she done because all around it was just wet. And I'm like, did I lay my phone in some water? And I picked it up and I smelled it, and I'm like, that's why I'm like, hey, thank you for spraying down my phone. Now I'm not gonna be able to lay up and talk tonight because nobody's gonna be.
We should be healthy.
Lysol on that cupcake.
Oh,
yeah.
I ain't doing that. Okay, so we on this new rule. In by 10. Everybody been following it? Sean, you been in by 10? Oh, so you didn't follow the rule.
He said a different jurisdiction out there.
You been following the rules?
Well, I'm kind of confused on the rule. Like, I know they said we got a 10 o'clock curfew, but does that mean we leave the place at 10 o'clock? Or does that mean...
He said, where the fine print at?
Yeah, like you on your way home. You got to be on your way home at 10 o'clock.
No, you're supposed to be in the house at 10, I think.
Well, why did they say
COVID
that?
got grown people on punishment.
Why did they say that places got to close by 10? If you got to close by 10, you got to go home. We need some clarification on these rules.
Yeah, we do, because black folks get stopped and be
I don't have no life after 10 o'clock, so I'm usually right here.
So live.
Ooh.
So live.
You put a lot
That
of
was
stank
so
on that one. You put a lot of stank on there.
That's when you...
What you put stank on it like I done had a, you know what I mean? Like.
No, I'm just a reminder.
I don't need a reminder. I'm a full-grown husband.
Show live.
Full-grown husband don't need no reminder. I'll remind you.
Show live.
Show live. Show live.
Show live.
They in here, they like, you're supposed to be in the house by 10. But how did y'all know
Thank
that?
y'all. Because they heard what the people said.
Cheesecake Factory closed at 10 o'clock.
And that's where he was last night, everybody. Just to let you know, he was not at home.
I was
Happy birthday to Derickis. His birthday was yesterday, so you get a pass.
All day.
I was asking for somebody else that was at Cheesecake Factory.
Before we get started, Shine, can you do me a favor?
Yes, ma'am.
Look down there. Look underneath your table.
Oh, yeah.
You sound like the Oprah show. Look up under your
Here we
seat.
go with these shoes. Here we go with the shoes.
She pulled an Oprah move. Look up under your
She had
chair.
to walk 10 steps
You get a
out.
loafer. You get a loafer. You get a loafer.
You get a loafer. You get a loafer. 10 steps in heels to the chair. She only had to
Get that
walk
look
10
out the way.
steps.
The crazy part about it is, you'll look good in those heels, but then they'll be ragging you in a couple weeks. Like, why you got them heels on? You know that ain't safe.
That right there, just thank you, Shine.
You're welcome.
We got to go loafer shopping just for Taylor talk.
Look at him. He better just.
Kendall, it's just been like
You look good though,
Thank you, baby.
like a strawberry cheesecake from the Cheesecake Factory.
ask her who put on her lashes.
Who put on her lashes? Because I know it wasn't me, because they'd have been definitely somewhere near your nose.
And I know it wasn't her. So who did that leave?
The reason I know it wasn't her.
Man, he struggled. I was like, you lay tracks every day, and you can't lay these lashes easier than this.
Listen,
put
y'all.
something in the
I put the glue on her lashes, and I told her, I said, you got to put it on now. It ain't been on there long enough. You just walked in here. I said, no, I've been standing here. I have on socks. I've been standing in here. So she put the lash on, and it was on there good. She started tampering with it, and now the lash is off, and now she want to blame it on me.
Your glue was old.
My glue is new. I just got it today.
No, it ain't.
Yeah, pretty smart.
Thank you, baby. Can we? I don't want to deal with this because
Keep fussing with her, Derickis. She cute when she angry.
I know she been on me. She said I track hair all around the house.
I did and made him
She
vacuum
made
clean
me
his
vacuum
feet.
my socks. I had to vacuum my socks.
Yeah, that's my wife. Yeah.
She said I track hair all around her
You
house.
do
and it just
when you
annoys her.
leave.
We only been cutting hair for like what, over 10 years.
And I still can't do it.
Every single time I do her hair, she complains about it.
Derickis, I need you to know how really it is. Like when you be gone, she
Woo.
she be like,
Yes.
I'ma tell him next. I'm like, yo,
Notice what
I'ma
he do,
just
though.
bust it up
He
though.
come over here, take his shoes off. He walks all in the hair while cutting it. So I'm just looking at him. I'm like, have you noticed that you're just walking in the hair? So when we leave out of here, you're gonna walk.
That's
track
a bad
that.
habit to break though. When you at the shop, you just, you focused on
I'm
the
in my
creative.
zone.
Here's the
Get in my
thing, you
zone.
look good.
Well, thank you.
So I vacuum if this gonna be the byproduct.
I love him. I just.
So Kendall, so you're saying that even if it's a little hair here and there, for her to look like this right here.
Man, dude, you see it. You see it.
For her to look like this right.
Let me tell you why though. Cause what's today? Tuesday. So what's it? Tuesday, Wednesday. But between Thursday and
I feel
Monday,
like y'all are just jumping on me.
between Thursday and Monday, all I'm hearing is I got to make myself look like something. I feel like I don't look like nothing.
Yeah, I said when he walked in today, I said, I'm so happy you're here. I'm getting my hair
Then
done.
I come over here and make her look like this right here.
I got to make it look like that right now.
Sean. Sean, are you here? Nice, are you here? What are you doing?
I'm here.
I walked in, Sean was in the chair like that. I said, Sean, you sleepy? He said, no. Sean,
Same with just her.
They say
Hey, you feel me?
they say you pregnant and spoiled.
No.
Oh, you're right. She's pregnant and spoiled.
No, y'all.
I took care of the pregnant and the spoiled part. So at the end of the day,
Let's just move on because it feels like a beat-up session.
no, it's a love you session.
Yes, I love you session. The things I'm going through to make you look like this
Yeah.
right here.
You know what I'm saying?
This right here.
All right, let's get
I
it.
really like this topic, though.
Yeah. This actually came from me and my wife went to go speak in New Orleans a year and a half ago or something like that. Shout out to Cecile. We were out there doing our thing, and my wife was speaking to the youth at this particular time, and something she said just stuck out to me. And we were talking the other day. It was like, we need a topic. So this is how it works. I'm driving back from the gym today, and I'm texting. I know she sleep. And I'm like, yo, what you said out in New Orleans was fire. Because you told those young kids, you was like, finish what you started. Finish what you started. And it seems so easy. It seems so light. but it's so heavy at the end of the day. So we hope that we can, as a family, bear this out tonight, get some feedback from you all, and see if we could drive it home from a grown and mature standpoint as far as finishing what you started. So tonight, let's come together to address the huge gap that sits between having a thought or a powerful dream and the distance between the manifestation of it in legacy form. There isn't a single person tuning in tonight who hasn't either had or still carries a passion and desire for something more than what is currently present in their lives. Some of us begin as little children who dream of becoming doctors, firemen, professional sports players, or perhaps the first black female president of the United States. And as children, we see absolutely no obstacles or challenges standing between us and our dreams, because as children, we are unaware of the setbacks and distractions that we adults face on a daily basis. But all of a sudden, something terrible happens as we become young adults, and there's a form of dream swap that takes place, where as adults, we begin to see nothing other than the obstacles and the opposition that stands between us and our dreams. Expose a man or a woman to enough disappointment, failure, and fear, and you will produce someone who suppresses their childlike ability to dream and color outside the box of limitation and the unknown. But you will always find the one who isn't afraid to place their dreams in God's hands and stare failure right back in the eyes. They press past disappointment and letdown, extracting the priceless lessons that those experiences supply, and then they apply those wisdoms to taking another shot at their target. Those who are willing to lay down unproductive habits and pleasures in order to allocate that time towards investing back into their goals and dreams. They tune out the voices of people who are skeptical and pessimistic, and they turn up the sound of hope and possibility that faith whispers to an unbroken spirit. Therefore, whether concerning faith, marriage, parenting, business, or any calling and purpose that we carry in our hearts, the mission is for that one to become us all. And that requires that we all determine within our hearts to finish what we started. Let's talk about it. Queen, let's begin with faith. Many simply don't believe that something greater is possible. Some believe that it is possible, but just not for them. What is your take on first beginning to believe that believing that we can accomplish the impossible?
I mean, it goes back to me like with Dallas. I sit and watch Dallas. He has a very, very big imagination. And if something comes up in his head, he sits and figures out how to create that's come up in his head. So he'll come downstairs and he'll be like, can I go in the garage and get some, because, we order Amazon. He's like, can I get a box? He'll go out there and he'll cut the box up and he'll bring it to me. And he'll be like, see, what I was thinking was that I could take this box. And I'd be like, so what you going to do? He'd be like, hold on. He'll go back. He just never stops until he gets it. If it's not like what he wants, at least it's close to what he wants, right? And I sat down and I told him one day, and I was like, son, that same thing that you applied to this, imagine it, like whatever this world is for your Friday Night Freddy's or whoever they are, I want you to keep that in life, period. You just mentioned something about, like, as young people, we have that, but as we get older, we're kind of told, like, you got to let that go. Come to the real world. And I believe that we're kind of whipped and taught to know it can't ever be like that. You got to get a job. You got to do this. You got to do. And then some of your stuff, your dreams and your visions and the things that it starts like just kind of fading away. And then the whole faith piece is, it's different because people speak about faith, but it's hard to like really have that faith, that faith thing, because once you're knocked down once, twice, 3 times, 4, you kind of be like, man, bump that. I need you to tell me how I can get into the door with CEO of this or da-da-da-da-da. And it's like, you got to keep that faith. So it's a hard thing. You can't have it unless you're truly like, to me, in your word and you have that relationship, right? And so I feel like we should start as, with our kids. We should start allowing them to know that same faith that you had when you was trying to create that, you never stopped. You created, you did it. You got to keep that throughout life, because sometimes they don't have that in their lives. And then I'm 36 years old. I always had that. My mother and my grandmother was always like, you got to keep the faith, keep going, dream big. And I always had that special relationship with God. So I just knew something was going to come about. I knew those dreams were not coming to me for no reason. But a lot of people don't have that. So my question to you is, how do you feel like they get that whole faith thing and just starting off with like, I'm going to do it, I'm going to go for it? Because if you're not raised in church and you don't have that relationship with God, how do you do it?
I think it goes back to a scripture when Christ was coming to redeem Israel. And he said, unless you come as one of these little ones, have the faith that they have, you can never receive the kingdom. He wasn't telling us to go back into a childlike state, because that would be in contrast to when I was a child. I spoke as a child, so on and so forth. What he was saying is, if you believe in a God that you can't see, but you know he's there. We breathe air right now that we can't see, but we know it's there. We can't see gravity, but we respect the laws of gravity. That's what faith is. Too often, I've done it, we've all done it. We base our faith on what we can see. Right. So therefore, we can't do the impossible, because our natural eyes are only going to be able to see that which is natural and what is possible within our own strength and our own might, our own finances, our own expertise. But what I've learned and what's helped me break barriers personally is realizing that if there's the Most High that I cannot see, and he's promising me certain things, then I don't have to look at what I see. I don't have to look at my credit. I don't have to look at my finances. What I have to do is believe as much in the impossible of what he can accomplish through me, just as much as he's real, even though I can't see him with my own eyes. And so children don't look at credit. They don't look at whether they have a degree. When they dream and they're visualizing, it's simply based on, this is what I would aspire to have. And what that is it's a foundation of hope. But we're living in a hopeless generation, and hope is the gas that fuels the engine of faith. You can't have faith without hope. So as long as you hope for something and you long for something and you desire for something and you trust in God, faith will respond based on your obedience to what you can't see in the natural. It's a give and take swap. Yeah. If that makes sense.
Oh, it makes a lot of sense. While you were talking, though, have you ever met anybody in this room, like, because you were saying a lot of times we don't believe things we can't see. But it seems like we live in a generation where even you can even see it. It's right there in front of your face, and you still don't believe it.
That's true.
Go ahead. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. I've met those kind of people where I'm like, well, I see it. She don't see. It's like right there. I think sometimes goes back to that box that Dallas had. It didn't quite turn out the way he wanted it, but it got close. And I'm going to just take it spiritual now. We want something so bad, but maybe God is saying, I'm going to give you something like that. I'm going to give you a little bit of that, but I ain't going to give you all of that, because that's not what I have for you. You're not ready for that. You think you are, but you're not. That's going to totally destroy you. But I'm going to give you a little piece of this. So because it doesn't look like exactly how you planned it out, then that's not it. That ain't God.
Also overlooking the fact that, how do I want to do this? The way I see my relationship with the Most High, it's like a series that you binge on, right? He shows me things in episodes. Yeah. So therefore, I may have every intention of what I believe Salute First can accomplish, right? But I've learned to be conditioned to realize it's not going to happen all next year. But what he does is episode by episode, he continues to show me just enough to let me know I'm on the right track. That increases my faith. Then he brings me in the right relationship. That increases my faith. Then he opens up a door. That increases my faith. Because if he gives me every single thing right off the rip, human nature is to fall back into our own habits, our own self-righteousness, and then he loses that intimacy and that dance that we have. So what he's trying to do is he's not trying to withhold something from me. He's trying to condition my faith and strengthen me and also keep me on the line because he enjoys me trusting him.
Yeah.
He enjoys me saying, you know what? They probably going to say, no, but God, I tell you what, with you, I'm going to go in there anyway, because what's the word against me if you be for me?
Yeah.
He's like, you know what? I like that. So he gives me just enough in that meeting to give me courage to go into the bigger meeting. And that's the romance of faith.
Yeah.
But what we want is we want everything right now.
Yeah.
And as soon as we have a setback, as soon as somebody says no, we discount that God is just saying, okay, maybe it's not no, maybe it's not right now, or maybe it's not right, but it's a little bit to the left.
I'm going to end it with that episode thing, because that was kind of dope. And I've been there before, and I'm pretty sure Dorikas can with, like, you know, amen this. Life is like that. Like, we, you know, when we have a show that we're watching and the episodes are coming on, and like right in the end, you be like, oh, why they have to end it right there? So oh my God, I can't wait till next. I don't want to wait. You know what I mean? So then everybody starts getting on the thing. They start talking about, did you see what happened? Da, 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 da. You have to, like, they have strategically figured out how to keep you coming back to continue to watch that show, because you want to see what's going to happen. We got to start looking at life like that and be excited about life just like we are excited about that episode. Like, okay, I'm going to see what God going to do with me next week. Okay, God, okay, I see what you did this week, so let me see what the next episode's going to be. Instead of getting to the point where you just get mad and you turn and you don't even finish the whole show because you just upset you didn't get it all at one time.
And then we're going to jump, because that's so dope, right?
Right? You know what
I get what you're saying, 110. So, like, I'm going to mess with the Rigas because we both like power, right? But what I did is I got so busy about 2 seasons ago, I stopped watching from week to week, and I would wait till the season was over, and I would binge on it, right? Right? So that's like me taking God out of the equation. The Rigas are watching from week to week, so he has to wait till the next week to see what he wants, right? That hunger keeps him there. So to close, I say this. If a creative team sitting in a conference room has the ability to keep us enticed, when the only reward is for us to have an insatiable appetite so we continue to produce ratings and generate money, how much greater a Father in heaven who actually has a divine plan for his episodes, and when he keeps you waiting, is to condition your character, your perseverance, your long suffering, your temperance, your patience, your faith, so on and so forth. How much greater the reward from the creative team in heaven that's letting your life be episodes. But we're so quick to show faith to power, to housewives, to the NBA finals. Just picking, you know what I mean?
No, I
me with my rap battles, whatever.
I'm waiting next Sunday for that.
But when it comes to the Most High, we get so impatient.
Yeah.
So now he says, okay, now that's you cheating on me, because you're. It's not that you can't. You're demonstrating the characteristics and the ability for something of this earth.
Yeah.
I'm asking you just to have the same patience and the loyalty with me for the things that are eternal.
I really, really like that, and I know we got to move on, but encouraging the people to look at life like that, these are your episodes, because, you know, like, even after the episode goes off, we call each other, or if we don't call each other, we sitting and we saying, I wonder if, you know, how such and such gonna play that out. I wonder, you know what I mean? It's almost like you have to sit and you kind of studying, but we don't do it for our life.
That would offend me. I would not be offended if I saw somebody that was incapable of a thing. But when I see you maximizing the principle and deliberately withholding it for me, that hurts. And if we're made in his image, we have to accept that he feels. He's God, he's just, he ain't gonna change, but that doesn't mean he doesn't get disappointed. Like, dang, I had high hopes for Kendall down there. I thought he was gonna get that junk right there, bruh.
We give television more freedom and room than we give God. Because it's like, nah, man, I want you to just go ahead and I don't want you to be, you know, make some magic happen. I want you to just come down and throw some fire.
Form a miracle, or I'm going back to watching my TV show.
Yeah.
That's how we do. And so, just so we stay on point, the lack of faith is a great reason why we don't finish what we started. Because the moment that the Most High cuts at the end and he don't show you, who got killed, who got caught cheating, whatever that punchline was, we tap out from the Most High. But we set everything else on DVR. Yeah. All right, let's keep cooking.
Oh, you was gonna say something?
Oh, my bad.
I love this. Like, y'all got me over here like, yeah. And it made me think of something that I know in this season that God was doing with me. A lot of things that, like you were saying, having faith and having patience and waiting for the next episode. It's kind of like, I agree with y'all when you say like, waiting to the next episode. So sometimes I feel like these are the things that keep us praying. If God gave it to us all at one time, we wouldn't pray. So I know a lot of times I think about it and I was just like God is like, it's really, really taking me through. But guess what? This keeps me praying. It keeps me crying. It keeps me so close to God. And this is I really feel like God wanted this way so he can keep us close, keep us praying, and most of all, keep us humble during the process, because we start to realize that I need him more and more because I can't make it. I barely made it through this week. So I know I can't make it without him, the next week. So I really do believe that God has a way of keeping us close to him, because we all know sometimes when we get it all at one time, God don't hear from us. We'll thank him in the beginning, but, we get a little stray. You know?
Let's not get twisted, man. And I promise I'm going to move. Just like, let's pick on Power. When they were doing the last season of Power, we didn't know it, but they knew they had Power Book 2. So God is sitting there saying, like, you tapping out on this right here, but I'm only sending you through this compound and this training because I have something else for you. But if you can't pass this, if you can't be faithful over the few, how can I take? All right. All right. We're talking about finishing what we started. I guess we're cooking. Okay, next, we have to deal with effort. Never before have we seen so many people who want and desire so many things in life, but their effort sadly does not match or mirror their wants. Queen, you know a great deal about effort and sacrifice. So what is your take on people grasping the concept that you have to apply effort in order to obtain what you desire most? There's 64 million votes.
It's hard to answer this question right now because during this whole time, 2020, COVID, I'm meeting a lot of people who are just effortless. They want to have these conversations with me, I think, but after they get out the phone with me, it's just kind of like, that's not what I was really wanting to hear. I come from a generation of fighting to get to where I am right now. And I'm pretty sure everybody in this room relates and understands. Sean wouldn't be behind the board right now if he didn't continue to fight and put in the time to learn what songs are out there, what goes with what beat goes with what. Jerica's wouldn't be where he is right now if he wasn't constantly working on his craft. You wouldn't be where you are right now if you wasn't constantly reading and doing all the research that you do. I was just telling Derica's in the room when he was doing my hair, I heard you up there doing another meeting. And I was like, King can just do meetings all day. He started laughing. He was like, yeah. I was like, but that's his thing. And that, because you do that, it's constantly opening doors for you. I'm pretty sure you get tired sometimes. You just want a day. But you have to put so much in to get something out. My grandmother used to always tell me, too much is given, much is required. Just the other day, I was listening to Tiana Taylor, and she was talking, and I could hear her frustration, and I could understand where she was coming from. Because you feel like, I put so much into it to get nothing out of it. Now, some people just sit back and they just want it, but they don't want to put nothing into it. To much is given, much is required. Anything worth having is worth fighting for. They ain't saying it's worth, getting up and just patty caking. You got to fight to get to it. And so, I always just tell people, like, don't call me to ask me if you don't want to hear the truth. Because I'm not going to tell you, one, I'm not just going to give you a deal because you can sing. Two, I'm not just going to, I think that's a lot of people just like, well, can you do it? And I'm like, no, because it wasn't done that way with me. And right now, I'm not in the position to emotionally pick up anything else because I'm emotionally carrying a lot of my stuff. And I know if I carry you, I got to care for you. I got to make sure you know. And I'm just not in that position right now. But I will say, just keep on going and ask God to tell you what to do. But you got to put something in to get something out. If you've been singing all your life and you just buckled down and feeling like, okay, I want to take this thing to the next level, and you put a year's worth or 2 years worth of time in it and you think you should be further along, you're wrong.
I think right before COVID hit, matter of fact, right before Instagram switched the algorithms, because, we used to be able to see all the likes, all the follows, all the views, so on and so forth. A&Rs began to realize that we're done trying to put money into artists just because they're a hot commodity for the time being or a hot topic. What they were basically saying is, you go out there and let's see how serious you are about it. Let's see the effort that you'll put in. Let's see if you can get up to 500,000 views. Let's see if you can go and be creative and style your videos and learn how to edit.
Then again, don't use A&Rs because then I get upset because they let the artists do all the work. Then they come in and they sign you, take all your money, and you still doing all the work and they ain't doing nothing. So.
Yeah, well, you got to structure your deal. You know what I mean? I get it, though.
Yeah,
I get it, though.
That's why I was saying my heart went out to Tiana Taylor because that girl is talented.
Yeah, I wasn't even thinking about her. I was just thinking about, the everyday, because I see it so much when I go into the prisons, and it's frustrating. You get up there and you speak to these brothers and you empower them, and then it's a line of brothers wanting to talk, and half of them want to be rappers.
Don't nobody want to be lawyers. Don't nobody want to be doctors.
I'm like, if all my black brothers, man, are running to this one door, all of this out here is for the taking. And then we wonder why we're not sitting in positions of power, authority, and influence, and we're being subjected. It's because we ain't put forth the effort. But so check it. When I got, and I know, what's the word? Whether it's pandemics, recessions, so on and so forth, it hits a lot of people in a lot of different ways. But one thing I realized back in 2008, when I got out of jail in Atlanta, me and my brother were learning stocks. And we set up with Invest Tools with Thinkorswim, and it let you trade fake money just to be able to see what you could do. I began to realize how this country works. And I may get in trouble for saying this, but I know it's the truth. The way this country works is every 100 years, we're going to always see a recession or a pandemic or a virus or something. We're going to see something. Because every 100 years, they're gonna restabilize the economy. When we start getting more powerful and other races start getting more powerful and the Latinos start clicking up, let's just throw a pandemic out there so we can snatch up all this real estate. We can snatch up all these stocks. We can get these businesses that are thriving to close, so on and so forth. So for some people, I know we did. We started planning for a rainy day, and we started cutting our belt years ago. Tightening our belt years ago, because I knew that this time was coming. And I said back in 08 with my brother Chemo, I was like, the next time this thing come around, I'm snatching stocks, I'm snatching real estate, I'm going to see this thing come. So I say that to say this. There's going to always be tough times that try to prevent you from finishing what you started. There are going to always be setbacks, whether they are within you, your health, your family circle, or the whole greater economy and the whole ecosystem that we live in. But what we have to do is start being more prepared. We have to realize that a lot of those fun times that we had, a lot of those clothes that we bought, a lot of those things that we did not need, put us at a disadvantage when we did need them. So when things are going well, you have to put forth the greatest effort to your savings, to your hustle. You also have to take care of your body. Like, I don't feel like going to the gym every day, but what I realize is that this is my machine. This is more important than the car I drive. And I can't make sure my oil change is up to par, my tires got good tread on them so I can keep moving back and forth when this is the vehicle. This is what I need to lead my family. So I have to put a greater effort towards my physical health, my mental health.
Yeah. I love that, what you're saying. I'm going to kind of take what you said and kind of switch it up a little bit. We have to finish what we start. We have to also allow those who came before us, who started something, we got to finish that too. You know what I mean? So when you were talking about how Latinos, I ride down the street and I see they have a whole street. They have their own stores, their own markets, and they support and love on each other. We as black people got to learn how to do that same thing.
Circulate that dollar.
Pretty much. And I'm not saying this ain't, listen, I'm saying support your own people. Like, I get a lot of people that come to me and be like, well, you ain't support. If you see me post one thing, you're like, well, are they black on? But this is my question for you. Are the tennis shoes you wear black on? Are the bags we carry black on?
That's a fact. And my kickback is this. I don't mind doing business with black. I prefer that. Not from a racial standpoint, just because I believe in circulate. Boom, another Paul Daniels joint. Stop playing. Prime example. But you're going to have to do it with black excellence. The one thing I said when I talked to Paul Daniels about his clothing, I ain't care nothing about the fact he was a black guy. What I looked at the fact was that his stuff was good quality. I saw he took pride in his demonstration. It was well thought out.
Yeah.
It was positioned correctly that matched not just my fly,
Yeah.
but my character as a man. We can collaborate. I'm not going to just eat at your restaurant just because you black and you got hair on my food, your service is crappy. We have to raise our level of excellence as well.
We gotta finish what was started, because the people who came before us, they did it in excellence.
And this ain't it.
And this, what I'm saying is, instead of you going up under the page and you starting a whole war about using a black product, what I suggest is go start one, and I would love to support it.
Reach out to that person and help build them up, or be like, yo, sis, yo, bro, I want to pull your coat. Like, we will attack each other so quick.
We do it.
But if you go get a bottle of toothpaste and it come out green or something, you ain't going to blog about it. You might switch brands. You probably going to stick with Colgate.
Well, I'm just saying, but all of those people, when it comes down to toothpaste, and I want to do my research to see how many black businesses are in Harris Teeter and Whole Foods and CVS. Because half of the stuff we buy, I'm just saying. We gotta finish what was started for us, because there were women who came before us. What's the movie that I just watched with Octavia? What's her name? Octavia. She played. You know, I'm talking about the hair. What's her name? She came out with the hair.
Oh, on Netflix. I know what you.
Somebody knows. Somebody. Madam C.J. Walker.
Yeah, that was fire.
Right, it was really, really good. If y'all haven't seen it, go watch it. But she put so much pride into it, and she made sure the product and the brand was, you know, everything that went into it was good stuff. And so we got to finish what was started for us. Martin Luther King, all the people who started stuff, we got to finish that, and we got to do it in excellence. And so I just said that to say, let's start back supporting each other so we can have a strip of black stores, and I can rock your shoes, and I can rock your palm. You know what I mean? You get what I'm saying? And
I feel you 110.
Yeah. And when we have it, I'm there. What's good? I'm posting it, I'm supporting it. But we gotta start it and stop talking about it. We gotta start the businesses so that we don't have nothing to gossip about. And when we do start them, don't tear each other down. Help build each other up. Finish what they started.
And before we even get to that high, lofty level, you know, where we got a skybox view, we have to do everything at the bottom with our best effort. We have to do it with our best effort. As a felon, I got my opportunity to change my life because of the way I swept floors. You dig what I'm saying? And I say that to say we can't overlook our daily tasks, our daily responsibilities, our daily mandates, sometimes because we're so focused on where we want to get to that we overlook the details and putting forth the effort of excellency at where we're at right now. One thing, I see it all the time. People think that they're going to get to the stage and it's just going to activate. You think you're going to be able to kind of half-ass it here, cut corners here, be slothful, and show no initiative. But when your number get called, no, because your habits are going to translate with you onto the big stage. So we have to apply the same level of effort on our climb up the mountain that we can expect to have when we reach the mountaintop. Yeah. It's not going to just activate. If you're undependable, if you're unreliable, if you're untrustworthy, if you're unethical, at the bottom, that's going to meet you on a greater level, and you're going to have greater impact to impact more people in a negative way. So at the bottom of our climb, no matter how mundane or minimal or menial the task is, we still have to put forth our best effort and trust that God is going to recognize it, even if the people around us don't.
Yeah, because if you're not practicing that now, when the door does open, you have no training in how to maneuver. Yeah. that's just practice. You know what I mean? Like, you're like, oh, okay, I see that. Like, I always tell people everything that I went through that was, like, horrible and hurt me is good for me now. Because now, when I see it coming, I'll be like, oh, yeah, nah, we're going to go ahead and do this. We're going to go ahead and do that because I've seen this before. And so you got to learn how to appreciate those storms, like the Rikas was saying earlier today. Those things happen for a reason. They are your necessaries to come to prepare you. Your test is a part of your testimony. You cannot have a testimony without a test. You cannot learn how to rock a certain way if you haven't been shaken.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
Like I was telling a brother up there, and we'll slide to this last one and open it up. I came to the realization about a year ago that I've never taken a loss in my life. And that was hard. It was a hard pill to swallow because I've had a lot of things taken from me, but this is the phrase I live by. There is no loss if you can extract the lesson. I can't find anything in my life where I took an L, but I didn't learn something from it. If you take an L and you don't learn anything, that's a complete loss. Yeah. But sometimes that philosophy, you don't have to go to college to pay tuition, has to kick in and realize, yeah, he cheated on me. Yeah, she stole from me. Yeah, they badmouthed me. But did you learn something from that joint? It's going to make you sharper the next time you enter some kind of environment or some kind of circle. You're going to be able to slide and move and maneuver. Then it was a blessing because now you got that lesson in the trunk, and now you're moving forward. So as long as you extract the lesson, there is no loss.
Yeah, and we you got the time on there?
Oh yeah.
I don't want to hear nobody mouth. 10 o'clock, we leave.
And last, we cannot close out without addressing the elephant in the room, and that is consistency.
Yeah.
Almost everyone begins attacking the goal. Then many may continue to push through a few challenges, but only few stay 10 toes down and make a demand that the universe responds to their efforts. How has consistency played a role in your life in order for you to have a career that is quickly approaching 20 years of success? How has consistency?
20 years?
Yes, ma'am.
You sure you're right about that?
Hey, I know who I married.
Jesus Christ. Who?
Real though, when you look at it like that, there's no way you would have gotten to that landmark, that benchmark, without consistency.
Yeah. I don't know what to tell you, man. I just was determined to go, to fight, to be everything that they said I couldn't be. I mean, when I had Zion, everybody was like, it's over for her. You know, and I didn't like for somebody to tell me what I couldn't do. When I knew that God was telling me the whole time that I could. He was showing it to me in a dream. So by me being consistent, even though I got knocked down a hell of a lot of times. Right, Derikas, am I wrong? I got knocked down. Like, and again, that is why when I listened to Tiana Taylor, my heart just like broke because I was like, I know exactly what she's talking about. She was like, yo, but my health is more important. I'm tired. She just kept saying that over and over. I'm tired. And I understand. She mentioned something though. And she was like, even if I don't do music though, God has made that girl, like, giving her so many gifts. She can go behind the camera and do videos for other people, do movies, do clothing. She can model, she can dance. It's so many things that she can do. And that's the thing about her consistency, where God said, I'm going to bless you anyway, even though the label, even though the Grammys and all these Soul Train Awards and all these people ain't recognizing you, I'm going to open doors for you that some of these people don't have because of your consistency. And I think that's what God had done for me. It was like I kept trying to be like, yo, I'm nominated, but they ain't never showing me no attention. I don't never get nothing. You know what I mean? I walk in the room, they act like I ain't, you know what I mean? But it's cool because my reward in heaven is greater than anything down here. I've done what he wanted me to do, and I'm still doing it, but I'm not so tied up into like, oh, I got to get here, I got to get there. I'm still consistent at everything that I do. He just gave me that weapon. He just gave me that and I always asked him, God, show me what you want me to do. God, speak through me. Like when I walk into this room, how do you want me to say it? How do you want me to sing? I always gave it back to him. And that's why my fight could never go anywhere, because it was never about me. It was always about the man upstairs. So that consistency thing, it never left. When I hit the stage, it wasn't about how can I move them. It was about, God, how can I give this gift back to you? Please. What would I say when I hit the stage, what would I say every night? If what don't happen, it ain't going to be a what good show. What would I say?
God don't show up.
If God don't show up, it ain't going to be a good. I would be so scared, like, oh my God, like if God don't show up, it just don't mean nothing. If he got to show up, God, I need you. And people may say, well, how God going to show up and you were singing Free Yourself? You don't even get it. You don't even understand, honey. It wasn't the lyrics. It was the anointing that flowed through that people would leave like, I don't know what that was. I just feel good. And trust and believe I'm going to end my show with worship. I'm going to let you know what's really, really good. But my consistency came because I always surrendered over to him and said, I'm allowing you to be the leader, I'm following you in this thing called career, in this thing called industry. I'm following you. Because if I take my eyes off you, I'm going to be somewhere drugged up. I'm going to be somewhere selling myself short because I'm looking for a position that ain't righteous. And I don't want to do that. So I just always let him lead the way. And the consistency just came because I was always constantly chasing after, what do you want me to do? Who's going to be blessed? Who's going to be healed? Who's going to hear my story? Who's going to hear this thing that's so ugly and so negative that they got it all on CNN, all on the radio station. They're cracking jokes about it. But somebody's going to hear this and be healed. And he would show me every time. So it was like, hey, I'll take that lick. I'll take that. But I'm consistent and I'm going to keep going because I got my eyes on the prize. And that was the man upstairs.
Consistency is extra important. What's his name? I want to say his name is Malcolm Gladwell. Wrote a book called Outliers. He said before you can consider yourself as being a master or having mastery of a thing, you have to put in 10,000 hours. If there's anything that you got your hands to that you want to do and you haven't put in 10,000 hours, you got to keep pushing. You got to keep being consistent. I know there's many days in my home when my wife is like, boy, sit down, stop, get out the office, get off the phone. But I've had to struggle so much in my life. I've had to start over so many times. I've had so many doors closed in my face. I've had so many people doubt me. That now that I'm sitting in a position where we have the things we've asked God for, I'm going to steward them properly. I'm going to nurture them every single day. I'm going to check behind it every single day. I'm going to always play devil's advocate and look for ways that could cripple us or slow us down so I could be proactive to put up a defense. That's just where I'm at with it. I'm never going to sit back and be like, yo, we good, we comfy. I told somebody the other day, he was like, when I went to Fayetteville, I had that meeting, and we was talking about if you win the lottery. And they was all talking about how they going to stop doing this and stop doing that. I said, yeah, you give me the lottery, you done messed up. Because I'm going to go out here and take over everything. Like, there's just no sitting down with me because it's in my spirit. And I think God rewards me for being relentless and having a sincere heart when I do it. So I encourage everybody, especially the kings and the brothers, when it comes to something that you want, activate your faith. It's okay to dream. It's okay to have that moment of like, man, I feel stupid. This feel kind of foolish. It's make-believe. Nah. That's that space that feels like make-believe to us men. That's the stuff where God is saying, okay, now you coming back to the pureness, purified and purged from all of this muck that the world puts on you because you believe that I can do it. So activate your faith. Put forth your best effort every single day. Any day you don't put forth an effort, don't expect the universe or God to give you nothing in return. And be consistent. Too many brothers jump up. You see them in 2018, they want to be a rapper. Then you see them in 2019, they want to have a clothing store. Then you see them in 2020, they got a car detailing shop. Just don't come up to me no more because you don't know what you want to do. I want to see something that compounds like interest that you do again and again and again and again, and God will respond on your behalf.
You gotta start something. And like I don't tell people like you can't have all of that. But you have to start it. It's just like having a child. I always use that for an example. I have to carry this child for 9 months. I can't get tired and be like, okay, Lord, it's 6. Get it out. It's the same when you start up a business. You got to love and nurture and cater to that business. And when you see it get up on its feet, even when it gets a certain age, you still got to make sure you go back to. But once it gets to a certain age, Once it gets to Zion age, it can walk, it can talk, it can feed itself. It can, you done taught it how to maneuver and how to. Then you can go and say, okay, now I'm gonna have another child. I'm gonna start another business. Now I'm gonna do the car shop that I've been thinking about. So you got to start something and see it to the finish line before you start opening up other doors, because if you don't, it's just going to be a mess. And I want to encourage like the women out there during this COVID time, keep going, keep fighting. Like whether you're putting out a oil line, a soap line, a hair product, clothing line, anything that you got in mind that you want to do, like be consistent, have the faith, be like a child and dream big, and don't let anybody come in and tear it down, but understand that it's going to come with a fight. It's going to come with a fight, and we fight for anything else. We be ready to pop off and smack a chick for saying anything or saying something to my children or saying something to me on social media. Feel like that about that baby that you want to birth, in that oil, in that soap, in that clothing line, in that hair salon. Feel like that about the book that you want to write. Feel like that and keep fighting for it. And be ready to smack somebody if they say you can't do it. Not physically, because I don't want you to catch no case, but mentally and like be like, you know what, I don't care what they say, though they slay me, yet will I trust him. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. It will come to pass. I'm gonna put it on my vision board. It might not be this year, but it's coming. Like keep fighting for that. Keep fighting for that.
And real quick, bro, know this. Every it's not in the cards for everybody to like do what the wife says. If that's what you know, and you know that's what God has called you to do, because he's only going to provide you with the skills and the favor and what he's called you to do. But also there's a lot of people have no desire to run a business, but like they just want to see a phenomenal home. They want to see a loving atmosphere. They want to make sure that their children are reared in love and discipline and structure. And they want to make sure their wives and their husbands, like whatever the thing is, it's a desire of your heart. If it's a business, if it's your home, if you want to take better control over your health, if you want to see your community shift and change, whatever it is, man, just make sure that you walk in faith, that you put forth your best effort, and you be consistent for whatever it is that keeps you up at night and is burning in your heart. That's the main thing right there. And whatever you do, finish what you started.
That's right. Just like we're going to finish what we started. And Sean, y'all don't know it, but he's spending the night. And Lisa, she said he can stay, so he going to play.
Hey, sis, I ain't had nothing to do with that. I don't want no smoke.
We got to finish what we started, and the music makes me happy. Okay? Music makes y'all happy. So we're going to finish what we started. Sean just going to spend the night right over there on the couch. Sean got some sheets and everything you need. Okay, you dig?
What you got, bro? We take just a couple.
Okay, yeah, I got two really, really, really good questions. Okay. This was really, 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 really good. Like, I'm like over here just like, ah. Okay, the first thing, do you feel like a lot of people have gifts, but I think it's the way you use your gift, meaning that you can either use your gift as a tool or a weapon. What I mean by that is that there are a lot of gifted people, but they're not getting what they want from God because maybe you're using your tool as a weapon. For an example, a singer. Do you use your gift to touch people or to compete against other singers? You know, because sometimes you can have a gift that's pure, but when it turns into a weapon when you start competing. And sometimes God tests us with our gifts. Is it a tool or is it a weapon?
Wow.
I'm gonna let you go. Mine gonna be a little.
It's a weapon when you're fighting down, like when you're allowing your gift to break down, to be a healer to certain people. Like when people come up to you and say, "I felt so bad today, but when I heard you sing such and such, it just made me feel better. I didn't believe I could do this or da-da-da-da. When I heard you sing that song," it becomes a weapon. It's starting to tear down demonic forces, and it's starting to, right? But it's also a weapon if you're looking at it like, I could out-sing everybody in this room. It's a weapon. Now, my thing has always been, I know I'm not the most talented person. I have a list of people that I be like, yo, am I lying? Mm-hmm. Love them. Like, I know they can sing. It's some of the girls who sang with me can sing circles around me. And I think what starts to happen is other artists and other people will start looking at me. I know they've done it. They've been like, she ain't all that. And I know that I can sing. I could have done that better. And I might sit and say to you, you probably could have. But it was the anointing that he placed on my life that wasn't just about the vocals and the runs or my squalls or he put something and placed something in me that is a weapon that breaks down demonic forces, that heals people and make them feel better. Don't be mad at me. Take it up with God. I don't want to be the best at singing. I just want to be the best at breaking down demonic forces with the gift that he's gave me, which is a weapon in that form.
Short and sweet. I love my father God because he's a gangster. He said, you either with me or you against me. It's simple and plain. You know, I think the time is coming to an end for us to be doing, saying, demonstrating unrighteous behaviors and then thanking God when we get acknowledged by an unrighteous world for what we're doing. That's just it for me. Weapon, tool, pick your own poison. I'm more concerned on picking my side, and either I'm going to invest my knowledge, my intellect, my ability to speak and guide and lead nations of men. I can either turn them into gangsters and savages and we can go out here and revolt and riot, or I could do what I'm doing and use that very same gift that I used to use in the streets, and I'm using it to build men, build family, build homes for the Most High. So at the end of the day, tool, weapon, you choose. But at the end of the day, I know God said you either with me or you against me, and there is no teeter in that line. And a lot of people want to say, you know, God covered me, God looked out. God ain't in that music that you make. He's not in what you're spending your money on in the dark. He's not involved in your habits. He's not okay with the way that you abuse people and you belittle them because now you're in a position of power. So I would suggest that you weigh that on the scales. Are you with him or are you against him?
That was good. Last question. Do you feel like people forsake being in the room? T.D. Jakes preached a sermon called In the Room. And he talked about a lot of people get opportunities to be in great rooms. But when they're in the rooms, they're only focusing on a photo op. They're only focusing on getting close. But are you really knowing why God has put you in the room? Sometimes I've gotten teary-eyed by looking at opportunities that were in the room. I was in rooms that had a lot of opportunities, and I realized that this is not a photo op. This is God's promise. Like, there's some people in the room, and I think we forsake the rooms that we're being put in, the situations that we're being put in, the opportunities. And we're saying that God is not coming through. We're in the right rooms, but we're not using the rooms the way we should.
This is my best example, and I hope this makes sense to you. It's almost like how me and Ken was talking about, you don't know who's in the boat. When we went on our first little water trip, we had the smallest, what else would you add to it?
I just call it Little Tink Tink.
It was Little Tink Tink, y'all. It was like right by the water. I could just literally like stick my hand out, right? But we were so good, and we were looking around us, and out by that lake, it's some money out there. It's some ball players that live out there. It's some, some money out there. Everybody had their boats, and they was looking, But me and Ken just kept thinking, like, if only they knew who was in the boat. You see what I'm saying? And so I'm using that for an example. Like when you're in the rooms with certain people, we're living in a world where if I can just get that picture, it's better for my social media. But guess what? The conversation you probably could have had would be better than that picture that you took, because that person might be dropping some nuggets to help you along the way. But we live in a world now where people just want the bigger boat and they don't want Tink Tink. If only you knew, though, who was in the Little Tink Tink. That makes sense?
If you got to prove you were in the room, you only present. If you got to prove to the world that you were in the room, you was probably trespassing. I've been in some heavy rooms. Matter of fact, shout out to my brother Travis Mann again. He went up on my page one day when I finally posted I did 17 years probation. And he said, bro, I done been in rooms with you where was some of the most powerful delegates and influential people of our country. And he said, I had no idea that you were on probation. And I was like, I was killing deals the entire time. What is this fixation that we have to show everybody else where we're at? See, what it is you in a powerful room where you could create impact, but you still empty inside and you seeking validation. This how I rock. And maybe it's because what I went through in the streets. I'm as powerful as I am because you don't know who I know. You don't know if I heard what you said.
Just moves.
You don't know if I know what you really make. I don't post a lot of stuff, man. I don't show people. Like, I was even debating the other day, man. Shout out to my man, Curran. I was great post a pic and be like, you know, salute first, merch coming, whatever. But I was like, nah. I just got this thing about me where I'm not going to give you a leg to go disrupt, interfere, or hinder what I got going on. So if I ever do anything, I'll show you after it's already been done on some Drake-ish, where it's like by the time you read this, it's too late. But I think one of the most powerful things I have going for me is you don't know who my circle is. Up until my birth, boom.
Yeah.
Up until my 40th birthday party last year that my wife threw for me. Tell me if I'm lying. All of my friends had never been in the same room together. My homeboy Yael from Africa, Osiris, Tim, my brother Chemo, waiting on Partlow to come home, my man Hop. None of my closest friends had ever been in the same room at one time. But I had finally reached a place in my life where my wife was like, yo, you good now. Okay, let me my friends show who my friends are. That's how I rock. You can't stop what you can't touch. You can't shoot what you can't see. But every time you posting everything you got going on, you're exposing yourself. You're letting us know your moves. You're letting us also know your weaknesses. So I feel like if you're in a powerful room, like Derek has said, if you're in a powerful room and God has granted you access to that room, and you're more concerned with getting a photo op, then you're gonna miss the real picture.
Yeah.
If you're in the room trying to get a photo op, then you've missed the real picture.
Yeah.
I remember and I'll admit, I remember I've had times where I've been in rooms and I didn't realize till I got home that my answer was in a room. But the crazy thing is I was in a room in my mind complaining about where I was sitting at and I was complaining about where I couldn't see and it was too loud and God needed me to see. Your answer is in this room, but you're so busy complaining. You're so busy focusing on other things. I brought you here for. You had a purpose in here, but you missed it because you didn't know what was in the room.
That made me think about a parable from Christ called The Ambitious Guest. And what he said, whenever you walk into a room of heavy hitters, he said, sit at the low table. He said, if you are a distinguished individual, the host will come and say, Tasia, why are you sitting right here? Let me bring you over here to the real table. He said, because it's going to be terribly embarrassing for you to put yourself at the high table and someone greater than you come in and they say, I'm sorry, boo-boo, I need you to get up because that's sure enough real. You know what it is, just walked in. So he's telling you from times old that when you walk in certain rooms, humble yourself. Don't try to number yourself and start counting pockets and looking at shoes and bags. Be in the room and extract everything that's there to be extracted like the ambitious guest before you get escorted to a lower place because you put yourself at a position you haven't earned.
I think God has always been so good to me because I've always been the kind, like, even if they would come and get, am I lying, Dorikas? Come and get us, I would say,
I sit right there.
I want to sit right here. They'd be like, no. I'm like, no, I'm great. Because I always knew that God had made me who, you know what I mean? Like, I didn't always rock the highest fashion and rock the, you know what I mean? People would tell me I had on the cutest dresses that I had been got from like a little boutique or like a little Target dress. And they'd be like, that look good. And I always used to tell Kendall,
it ain't what you put on, it's what you put in it.
it's what you put in it, honey.
It's what you put in it.
So I think that humble thing, I love that because I used to be like, no, just leave me right here because it might be something back here I need or somebody might, you know what I mean?
Humility will always be honored.
Yeah.
But we live in a proud, arrogant, and bodacious nation. So that parable of the ambitious guest, like that, when I read that joint, I was like, ooh, because I could see it. I was like, ooh, okay, Christ, I got that one. And I'll never try to walk in the room and exalt myself, even if I'm a keynote or whatever. I go keynote speak somewhere, they be like, what you need? I be like, just a bottle of water.
This is that same with me.
I'm straight. I'm like, just give me a bottle of water. I'm straight. I came to cook. I don't need all that. Matter of fact, don't do all that. That's going to make me uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Just let me come and cook, and then I'm out of here. So, yeah. The ambitious guest.
I love it.
Yeah. All right.
You know what I'm saying?
You know the hat come off.
We look, take that hat off because I got to go to the restroom. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to finish what I started. I got to use the restroom.
I know that's real. Got a biscuit in the oven.
I like the biscuit. It's a little smaller than that extra pregnant.
Yeah, that might be one of them flying biscuits. Okay.
Ain't nothing like a good cold ginger ale.
Girl, if you don't put that cup down so we can pray. Ginger ale ain't sponsoring no dollars around here. You know how I get nice. Where the ginger ale money at? What? For anybody who has a desire, Father, anybody who has a goal or a challenge that seems like it's out of reach or outside of themselves, let us look to our God and our teacher, Yeshua, because he definitely finished what he started. No matter the ridicule, no matter the opposition, being hated in his hometown, because only in the hometown is a priest without honor. No matter the lies, no matter the suffering, no matter the Judases that we have all experienced who turn us in when they used to eat on our table. And no matter how heavy the weight gets that you tell us that many are called, few are chosen, so we must bear this, for much is given to those where much is required. Let us remember how he finished that work. And let us mirror and look at our work and realize it does not compare. It pales in comparison to the weight of that cross. So let us pick up ours and let us walk with faith. Let us pick up ours with great effort. And when we get tired, let us pick it back up and be consistent so that you can finish what you started in us even when we have met our end. And that's why you get the glory. That's why you get the praise. That's why you get the honor. That's why you get the validation. That's why you get the recognition. And that's why the accolade and the awards and the praise go to you and you alone, because we can't, but you can. So we ask that you finish in all of us tonight what you started, and we will give you the glory that is due. We thank you. We love you. We honor you. And we pick up the weight that you have given us so that we can finish what we started. In your son, Jesus, Yeshua's name, we pray. Amen.
Well, you know you could pray.
Go ahead.
God, you could pray. Shout out to Hillary, because we've been working on this book. It's been fun. It's been
real. Oh, yeah. So, boom. Me and my queen, we're going to be on the Tamara Hall show on Thursday morning.
This Taylor Talk thing is really like...
They was like, yo, we see the Taylor Talk doing this thing, and y'all having a baby. And was like, let's talk about it.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's what we do. And you might see a post in the next 24 hours coming from our page. It's about time for us to move to another platform. We want to know what you think about it.
Yeah.
You know, having some little issues, Facebook, Instagram, all that stuff, which is all good. But it's time for us to call up someplace a home in 2021, and we really hope and pray you guys will come with us. So
if we had a show on TV, would you watch it? Sean, would you come? Sean, don't play. We need to do a contract on Sean.
Sean about that.
Don't
Sean is
play me
reserved,
like that. Hold
but
on,
he great blank.
bro. Tell her, don't play me like that,
I'm just
bro.
saying,
Sean
because
great
everybody
blank.
be
Contract
trying
with
to
me?
steal
Sean
my
great
DJ
blank.
now. You know what I mean?
Sis,
What?
you already know what it is.
Okay, then.
Man,
Hey,
he
y'all.
loyal like
we
aluminum
do need a
foil.
contract on Derek.
It's a wrap.
Because he, with his behavior.
I propose, and from the look of the people, I think they agree with me, a part 2. And then can I get a second?
Huh?
A part 2 to this conversation.
Okay. I still want you to sign a contract about your behavior when you walk into this house.
She will insubordinate you, bro.
What date? No, it just
No,
comes on the air
yeah.
Thursday.
But yeah, it's gonna air on Thursday. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Then again, nice. We love you. We thank you. I want
My
you
Buddha.
to kill it. I'm gonna use the restroom, but I call them flats, and I'm not that sleepy tonight, so I'm gonna dance. And then Doriquis,
my baby some good
love
music.
you. I love you so much. I appreciate you. I think you can check your attitude sometimes when you
Thank
walk
you
through
for
the door.
wearing a dress tonight. You know, you came out of your shoes, but I appreciate the little glam.
Paul Daniels, man, what's up, man? We having
Come
fun
on.
out here though, right, Rev? I had to throw some Timbs with this joint though. It just brought the hood out of me.
I be having a fight with her just to, like dress
No,
it up. She
you
wanted to
don't.
Yes, I do.
Well,
Yes, I do.
I'm
I'm about to walk about the big room.
I'm hungry.
You
Come
got
on,
to use
help
the
me
bathroom
out.
because you drank the cold pop the whole show.
I just started sipping on it. Nice! Do something to make me feel good.
Refugee camp, conspiracy theory, why?